Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praise to Yahweh Hashem El Shai, or Hashem HaKadosh. Call hallelujah, Yahweh Hashem El Shai, or Hashem HaKadosh. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying our praises to Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai, the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible. With worlds, they call Jehovah our God, and his son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. The world, they call Jesus Christ. I want to give the honors and to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone and Shalom to all the brothers and more, they are pushing this word in sincerity and in truth to all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. Alright, this lesson also in Catholic find peace with his will, and because we know there's only one will, and that will is Jehovah's, right? And his will always be done, it's written, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and contrary to popular belief is that, hey, you have free will and you choose your own destiny and God has told you to choose this and choose that, and that's all bullshit, In reality, we're just, let's call it as it is, programs of the Most High doing exactly, intellectual programs of the Most High, just fulfilling his will. Some know say we actually have fulfilled his will, some doesn't, how programmed as well. But the point is that the scripture says man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his way? And the Most High bring me through parts, at times, and we may try if sometimes we try to understand what's the significance of this specific me speaking, myself as well. Why what we're supposed to learn from this, or what's the significance of this specific situation. And all what makes sense to us, us mortals, as written, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither my ways your ways, as the heaven is higher, right? So the Most High we higher than our ways, So we're not going to fully understand the will of the Most High, especially in his fucked up flesh, but we have to find peace with his will, As I'm going through the book of Sirach, this is a precept here, Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach chapter 4 and verse 26. It says, "Be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river." Don't try to force the course of the river, the river in a specific way, flow with it, Right? Don't try and make things go your way, Because again, there's only one will, and only one will prevail, regardless, So we just have to find peace with his will, whatever situation we're thrown into, as is written here in the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter, I'm going to start from 1. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 1. "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." So it's about constantly enduring, situation may change at times, and you try to monitor it, you try to control it, but really and truly there's nothing you can do. The scripture say, which one of you think to basically can change a statue, or make a year point head grow or something. I don't remember exactly. You should basically say, you can't do shit by taking thought or worrying about something, or you trying to do something. You can't change the will of the Most High, So might as well if you just find peace with it. You get through in one situation, just find peace with it. Alright, the Most High put me in a situation, must be for a reason, Let me just accept it and learn from it, Easier said than done, Right? But it's necessary. He said, verse 3, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." And that's the point, So whatsoever is brought upon thee, we're supposed to take cheerfully. And the scripture say, chastisement, for the present, seem joyous but grievous. No, if you say enough time you go through this with a smile on your face, big teeth. No, We'll go see what say um in the book of let's get it no butcher. In the book of is it First Peter, I think. First Peter 1, I think or 6. First Peter 1 and 6. So wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. So we'll go through heaviness, we'll go through manifold temptation. Some strange things happen unto thee. First Peter 4 verse 12. You know, you're supposed to think it's strange. Everything in your life will go haywire. You know, it's like I try to catch some things and everything else a drop from you. You know, it's just the manifold temptations that we are go through. You know, trying for our faith. You know, to basically find peace with His will. Whatever situation we are cast into, you know, the most I Yahweh shall put us in, because of His free will, you know, the most I put us in these situations. You know, you want to face in hell, you know. Yeah, the BSC maybe in some debt, right? Where your boss maybe want to move like him a fire, you maybe lose a job, who knows? You know, you know, maybe your wife will get problem or whatever situation. Brothers know it. When you go through bodily ailments, you know, no matter what you do, it's like it can't fix. You know, you try everything under the sun. You know, if you try to fix that situation and you just not fix. You know, right? Paul tell you that. You know, I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. I try to remember the word in you can do a quick search, but not really know the word. The Satan book. Corinthians as well. Now here's it. Alright, so this is Second Corinthians 12 verse 6. So for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. You know, and we have a great wisdom, you know. Right? Scripture says more things revealed unto us than men understood. You know, but go back and say what? To whom much is given, much is required. You know. Or given great wisdom in these earthly vessels. Yeah, when we go through, you know, humbling phase as well. Something to keep us humble. You know, that we not go above, right? We are. It says, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelations, there was given to me a thorn in my flesh, some affliction he was getting. And I never state specifically. So the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, 3 times, you know, pray. How about, you know, take this from, you know. It's that it might depart from me. So I'm asked to basically get the whatever plague him removed, you know. It's and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly therefore will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahushua may rest upon me. So you must accept it. You know, you have to accept the will of the Most High, you'll be at peace with His will. You know, not prayer. I think me do all this Spanish couple months, I mean years, I remember, you know. Right, I meditate upon it of basically let my desire be according to thy will, you know. There's something more for one, because if our desire, our things that we lust after, Richard already, things that we desire, you know, things that we want, you know, right? If it's against the Most High, well, then I get it, you know. So He will be good, right? For our desire, things that we want, you know, be according to Him will, so it'll get fulfilled. You know, of course, we desire salvation, boy come on to even carnal things, because, for example, let's say there's a job, you want. If the Most High don't want you get it, still it's not the will of the Most High, I get that shit. And you may feel that we call it disappointment, you know. But if your desire is according to the will of the Most High, say, oh fuck that shit, still don't really want a job there, the Most High give desire. If you don't want a job, you don't get it, Most High will, and it's just a mindset as well if you have, in our situations, Well, Most High will secret. Else we're supposed to say the Most High will, cause again, a female everything. It's the Most High will me get a job, the Most High will me get a job. An idea, him know best. Right, and again, it's easier said than done, but it's just a condition of the battle, of a fight. You have to find peace with his will. Whatever situation, where I win, to find peace in it. Look, well, as my brother, I call it from our camper, look funny. Instead of looking at the glass half empty, looking at it half full, Just this perspective of things, Change your perspective to a positive perspective. Again, easier said than done, especially when you go through it, but it is necessary, And there's this precept here again. We're supposed to meditate upon book of Romans 8. Verse 28, it says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are called according to his purpose. So his purpose, so everything actually happen for the good away at the latter end. Though within the specific situation, or hour or time, you may feel different, right? But at the end of the day, I feel better. So think about even like going to the gym. You go to the gym, you exercise, stress out your muscle them, sweat up, come back tired. But in the day, so what? You have a healthier body, you have build strength as well. Even good for your mind, Right, so we say body exercise profit a little, and the most I carry shows through some rigorous spiritual exercise, so if we find peace with his will, and the moment you find peace with his will, with your situation, right, it better for you. You find yourself less so-called stressed out, less depressed, less troubled, mentally. You just say, oh, let's work with it, right, get you in a situation, alright, it is what it is, moving on. Saying it is easier said than done, but again, we just have to find peace with his will. Remember even hearing a brother named Yahshua was saying it, a few months back, find peace with his will, and it's necessary, because you can't worry about things where you can't change, you just stress out yourself with nothing, we for ourselves can do nothing, and only one will exist. So, you lose a job, you feel like you lose a job, lose a woman, the most I give, the most I, yeah, Job, see me can get that as well. Job 3, mistaken. This is Job 2 verse 8. It said, and he took him a potsherd to scrape himself with all. So in potsherd is like clay, broken clay, and take a piece and scrape himself, so fuck up that was, and he sat down among the ashes on the ground. So then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips, and that's the mindset we have to have, to have integrity. The Most High give and the Most High take. The Most High give a job, the Most High take a job. The Most High give us up, the Most High give us down. That's the balance. Most High may put a woman in your life and remove her. It is what it is. We have to you give me one, or you take her away. No, you see me? Fuck it. You know, it is what it is. The most I know why I do that. You know, he wanted you to have whatever you put in your life at a specific time and then remove it, you know, for this specific reason. Remember even reading this thingy, you know, which let me see. There was two persons, you know. I think a servant and a king, you know, like the servant, you know, lose him hand, you know, and him Bex, you know, lose a hand in name, you know, and then he's like, then we're going out, you know, and get kidnapped, you know, him and the king get trapped. You know, roughly perfect. I think I remember the story exactly, you know, but them actually let him go, you know, and take the king, you know, because what? Him lame, they don't want him, you know, they don't want the the person with the perfect body, you know. So sometimes, yo, in our situations, you know, we don't know why we go through certain situations, you know, why we face certain hell and why certain things go haywire, why we don't get what we want. But at the end of the day, yo, it's for a greater good. You know, the most as the Father of spirits, him look out for it spiritually, you know, right? And we carnal, you know, we lust off of things, you know, especially in this wicked ass flesh. So sometimes when I get it, sometimes things may seem hard for us, yo, but in idea, everything as is written, all things happen for the good of them that love the Most High. You know, so it's just finding peace with His will in all different situations, you know. So that's the lesson, you know, me sure remember on and on, you know, hope it was edifying until you left out there, you know. So anyway, just try to find peace, you know, even pray for it. Pray for our will, our desire be according to His will, and you'll find things even way better, you know, at that stage. Not really bother you again to that effect. You know, you find yourself depressed or frustrated, you know, after everything is going wrong, you know, and that's a good spirit to have. Right, so with that, you know, hopefully this was edifying to look out there giving our praise to for how about Shimmy Shai, about Shimmy Kakadash. The one is into our elders and apostles of great millstone. And so on to the full.